Hey everyone, welcome to your week 24 Modern World launch. We're going to continue our discussion of the Industrial Revolution. If you are confused where you should be in the course, you want to make sure that you're looking at your year view. The goal is that everything to the left of this vertical blue line should be turned green at this point. So you can see this is accurate as of today. You should be about a third of the way through the Industrial Revolution project. If you've turned in the first two checkpoints, you would be about a third of the way through. And you want to make sure that you've taken and hopefully passed the Industrial Revolution causes, and then start working on the Industrial Revolution effects focus areas. Make sure that you're asking for help. If you are somebody that's a little confused by the platform, maybe you're new to the summit, maybe the content is a little confusing, we won't know there's a problem unless you reach out and ask for help. So you can do that in many ways. Sending a Hangout or an email are probably the quickest. If you'd like to call and speak with me, there's the direct number and my extension. We can do a Zoom virtual meeting if you'd like to see me and we can explain something. You can attend a learning lab, and then there's also the newest feature, which is the CPDLF Help Desk chat. And this feature is for some of you who like to work after our hours. We end at 4 o'clock. We go home and continue our regular lives outside of teaching. But if you're somebody who works in the evening, that's fine, and you will now have access to help. So on Monday through Thursday, anytime between 5 and 8 p.m., there will be a CPDLF staff available to help you, and on Fridays from 5 to 7. The link can be found in the About page of your Google Classrooms, and whenever you get to that link, basically it might appear to be a plain white page, but you want to make sure you look in the bottom right corner, because it's going to have this little Ask Us a Question. And you just click that, and then you'll be connected to Mrs. Pincheri or Mr. Burns or whoever's working the help desk that night.
You say you want a revolution, well, you know.
Okay, so I thought this picture was pretty cool. This is actually a picture from ilovealtoona.com, and this is really, Altoona was founded in 1849. During the middle of the American Industrial Revolution. It was actually founded by the Pennsylvania Railroad, which is still in Altoona. So this is a picture of some workers at the PRR in the shop in Juniata around the time of the Industrial Revolution. So I just thought that was pretty neat. And that leads us into our discussion of checkpoint 3. If you are somebody who hasn't started the project yet, you might want to refer to week 22 and week 23 to be able to see how to complete those first two checkpoints. This week is on checkpoint 3. So in the first 2 weeks, you have come up with a research product that you're interested in. So whether that is the iPhone, Nike shoes, Ford F-150, something specific, okay? And then you have a research question that you're going to be trying to answer. When you want to make sure when you're doing a research question, it can't just be something that can be very, very easily Googled. So for example, you don't want to do how much is Ford, what's Ford's net worth? That wouldn't be much of a research project, because you can Google that and have an answer in less than 5 seconds. And it would be a very simple answer. A research question needs to have a little bit of depth and build upon previous knowledge. So you want to ask more specific questions. If you need help coming up and really narrowing down your research question, please reach out to me. This week, you're going to be really starting your research to answer your question that you outlined in checkpoint 2. So this one's going to require you to gather at least 3 relevant and credible sources in order to answer your research question and determine if you will recommend or not recommend your product to your peers. So you want to make sure we're focusing this week on selecting relevant sources, so things that are actually credible internet sources and that are actually going to help you answer your question. I'd like to quickly just watch this video on evaluating websites. If you're somebody whose go-to website is Wikipedia, that will not work for a research project in high school, middle school, college, anywhere. The reason being, anybody can go on and edit the content on Wikipedia. It's not an encyclopedia. So you want to make sure you're following the tips on here.
You might think Different domain names show a lot about the validity of a site, like .edu or .org being educational or more valid than a .com site, which might be aimed at advertising. But that validity only goes so far. Some organizations can be totally biased. Let's look at these two .org sites about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. One is founded by Dr. King's widow, who might have some bias, but the digital archives of this site are built by a team of over 100 individuals and organizations whose names and roles are provided. This site also has a mission statement and contact information readily available from the homepage, and social media tools, as well as copyright information, latest news, and a date. There's a lot of information here, and it's well organized and structured to appeal to an academic and intellectual audience. This other site is hosted by Stormfront, which is a white nationalist organization with the motto White Pride Worldwide, which suggests some bias. Their site has no contact information, no copyright license, and no date. The rap lyrics, pop quiz, and flyers suggest the target audience for this page is probably grade school students. When you're looking for web resources, check the Yearbook of International Organizations at uia.be/yearbook. This site offers scientific and balanced information on organizations, descriptions and cross-references, the activities of international organizations worldwide, and more. Always ask yourself if a site is bad, biased, anonymous, or dated. Just like any other well-written or researched source, information provided on web resources should be cited in footnotes or links, and sites that regulate language and information posted in forums or social media posts are often much more trustworthy than those that don't. Remember, question everything, trust no one, and watch more videos.
Okay, so basically this one was about just because something is .org or .edu, you still want to look a little further than that to make sure that it's a valid site and that it's not a biased site. So if you have questions about whether or not your sites are legitimate, you can reach out to me. But again, if I see anything from Wikipedia, I'm going to send it right back because it's not a credible source. All right, and we do have some new changes in the SLP that I want you guys to see what our view looks like. So when you request a content assessment, it always comes up and tells us when you last took it, how many attempts you've had. And now this new part is the blue box there that says, so-and-so hasn't clicked on any resources since taking the last content assessment. So this is telling us that you haven't gone in any further and you're just going to try to take it again and guess. And you're going to start, I know I'm going to be denying more if something like this comes up, because really the summit's not about seeing how well you guess on multiple choice questions. It's about seeing how you can really narrow your process of learning. This is all about learning how to learn. And so we want to see you going back into additional resources, taking better notes. So if these things pop up, you will be denied, at least in my class, and I think probably in most, because teachers are getting these kind of notifications. So you should be going in and clicking on more resources before you just ask to take something again. We do have a Summit Learning Lab coming up this Wednesday, February 7th. This is actually a video of our last Summit Learning Lab. You can ask anybody. This is exactly what we did. It's from 1 to 3 p.m. at CPDLF. You can attend virtually. And our plan is, our theme is a plan of attack. So the proper, most rational way to go through the summit and really do things in the most rational order. So we do have a good time. We encourage you to come. We'd like to get some new people this time. So try to come next Wednesday. For this week, from February 7th to February 13th, you should be working on the Industrial Revolution Effects focus area, and then also working to submit checkpoint 3 of Industrial Revolution project. A challenge for you would be to complete the Inventors and Inventions focus area. So that is an additional focus area, but consider it extra credit. So it can only help your grade. So if you have the time and you think focus areas are easier than the projects, challenge yourself and do the additional ones. Your reflection question for this week: in a private comment, you can answer, what is the topic of the project discussed in this launch video? All right, if you need anything, please reach out.